Hey, welcome back to the Lisa Talev channel. Today I wanted to share with you some really easy self-massage techniques for a healthy way to calm yourself down if you've had a rough day. So much of the time people reach for things like cigarettes and junk food to self-soothe, and I like to resource my clients with tools to help them work smarter and take better care of themselves. So let's start with some very basic self-soothing massage, starting on the thighs. And I know so much of the time women complain that they don't like their thighs, so this is a really important area to send lots of love and unconditional acceptance to your body through your hands. So we'll start by taking some nice deep breaths right into the heart, filling up the heart like a big pink balloon, and then sending that energy out the shoulders, down the arms, out the palms of the hands, into the legs. So we'll start by just making some nice, gentle ovals, tracing down the inside and then out and up the outside of the thighs. And you can go the other way and just see if you prefer one direction more than the other. And it may help to close your eyes just to tune yourself into what you're feeling more than what you're seeing. And now let's shift those ovals into a little figure 8. So notice how my hand is crossing diagonally, wrapping around the knees, and then coming back around, drawing an 8 over each thigh at the same time. And we're really pouring love, pure unconditional love and acceptance through the palms of the hands, and using the fingers too to trace gently over the thighs. And now we can go back to some ovals and add a slight rocking motion, and you can change directions if you like. Just sort of playing with what it feels like to explore, sending love and comfort to your thighs. And next we'll go ahead and gently rub the hands together, nice and slow. And then we can start to bring that up your right arm and down your right arm. Again, just making some nice big oblong circles. Up and down, and you can change direction, going up the outside and down the inside. And notice if one of those directions feels better to you. You can also kind of alternate, going up the inside, down the outside, up the outside, down the inside. Now let's switch over to your left arm. Up the inside, down the outside for 3 times. And then we'll switch, going up the outside, down the inside 3 times. And then you can alternate up the inside, down the outside, up the outside, down the inside. Let's do that again. Up the inside, down the outside, up the outside, down the inside. Rubbing the hands together again. And you can do it more vigorously, this time creating some heat in both palms of the hands. Nice and hot, keep going. And now break them apart. Let's try to bring them back together and just notice if they bounce back, kind of like magnets pushing away from each other. And now we can take those warm hands over the face, not touching the face just yet, but just putting that warmth over the eyes and wrapping around to the forehead. And now you can stroke down your hair, nice and easy. You can also get the face. And if you don't want to touch your face, if you're wearing makeup or whatever, you can skip it and go down the neck, nice and gently, kind of paddling out. And then both hands at once. And now, super yummy, let's get the upper chest. Most people have no idea how much tension is in their upper chest because they feel it in the shoulders. But part of that shoulder tension is that we are curled in forward all day long. So this area right here in front of the shoulders in the pec muscles gets very tight. So we're gonna work both the pec major, which is kind of the Superman muscle, across the chest. Now this is above the breast tissue. So if you're a woman, no matter how big your boobs are, we're not touching boob right now. We are just on the muscle. And you can kind of grab, you can bring your arm in a little bit to grab the edge of that pec major and just kind of stretch it a little. And you can rotate the arm, thumb down and then thumb up. And blow out any tension with your exhale. Now let's get in there and find the pec minor. The pec minor are like little fingers that come down from the shoulder into the ribs here, and they get very, very tight. So pushing up into where they originate in the shoulder is a great release. It takes a lot of strain off your shoulders. And then coming down where they insert into the ribs. It's probably gonna feel a little tender, might be intense. You can play with your arm position, bending and straightening the elbow, and making kind of a circle with your shoulders. We'll scrub it out and scrub out the breastbone, right where the muscle meets the bone. Again, we're not on breast tissue, we are just where the muscle meets the bone. You can do a little thump here. It's great for your immune system to stimulate the thymus gland. And then we'll switch over to your left shoulder. And again, just rubbing the surface first of the pec major. And then we're gonna grab into it, get that nice handful of muscle right there. And bend and straighten the elbow. Rotate thumb down, thumb up, as we kind of sandwich those tight muscles between the fingers. And see if you'll probably feel some trigger points in there. You'll feel some tender spots, some lumpy, bumpy, tight places that are sore to the touch. So just kind of rub those out. And again, you can play with your elbow position, rotate the thumb down, rotate the thumb up, having the whole arm move as you go. And this takes a lot of tension out of the chest and strain out of the shoulders. So now we're gonna make a few shoulder circles and then take your hands and gently just knead the traps. And feeling around where you feel, you're probably gonna feel some lumpy, bumpy textures here too, just melting into those. Good, now let's take the hands to the tummy, and you will want to trace your intestines to help with the flow. I'm going to mirror you because it's backwards on me compared to you. So you'll go up your right side, across the middle, and down your left side. And that's going to encourage your partially digested food to move along through the track a little better. Let's go make 3 circles real tight right around the belly button, and then 3 circles a little wider, still on the soft parts of the tummy, and then the widest yet for the last 3, bottom of the rib cage, top of the hips, bottom of the rib cage, down to the top of the hips, and last time rib cage, hips. And you can reverse it if you like, 3 times big circles. This time going up the left, across, and down the right, and then mid-size 3 times, and small circles 3 times. And now let's bring the hands back down to the thighs, and you can just go straight up and down, or you can make those nice long ovals. And again, play with the directions. You can make circles around the knees, and then turn that into those figure 8s up and down the legs, and play with the other direction. And then we can settle the hands kind of mid-thigh. Just let them kind of hug your quad muscles. Breathing into your heart, expanding a nice pink glowing light in your heart. And send that loving energy out the shoulders, down the arms, out the palms of the hands, creating a really nice, peaceful, warm feeling that starts filling up your legs at the thighs. And we can also reposition the legs to be side by side, so you can include the calves, include the shins, the lower legs. And you can even open into a butterfly position. I am sitting on a yoga block, so it's elevating my hips and butt a little bit, and that allows me a nice straight back and just feels easier for me. And if you don't have a yoga block, you can just sit straight on the floor. If I were to do that, it would look like this. It is plenty easy to get to the whole leg in that position. And if you wanted to sit on something a little higher and you don't have a yoga block, you could use a folded up blanket. Just sit right on it there. And now we'll take your right foot and give it a little, if you wiggle it back and forth, that is great at loosening up all the little intrinsic muscles inside of the foot. That can be a nice release, especially if you were wearing tight shoes or high-heeled shoes during the day. And you can take your knuckles and rub out the arches of the feet. If you're barefoot, you can do a little threading of the fingers through the toes, like you're holding hands, but holding hand and foot together. And kind of rotate the toes around. You can include the ankle in that if you want more of a full foot flexion. But again, you're probably going to find the most tension in the arches of the feet. So you can work through with your thumbs. You could use lotion or oil, but you don't have to. I'm not right now for the purposes of this. And you'll also probably have a line of tension on the outside of the foot there. So holding into that pressure point there can relieve a lot of tension. Good, and let's switch feet. Get your left foot up here. And again, we'll do that wiggle, grabbing either side of the foot and just wiggling it out. And then working the arches. And if you want to protect your thumbs, you can put them right side by side and slide down that way so you're not overburdening the thumb joint. And again, if you want to get into that yummy spot on the outside of the foot, this actually corresponds, an acupressure point that corresponds to the shoulders. So if you have a lot of shoulder tension, this might also be really tender right there on the outside of the foot, under the pinky toe, a couple inches. So that is a great little welcome home ritual. I also recommend, if you've been wearing shoes all day long, you may want to run to the bathroom and wash your feet before you start to do this. Definitely don't want to have yucky, sweaty foot smell while you're doing a foot massage. And it also just feels nicer. If your feet are sweaty, it'll be a little sticky, and if they're nice and clean, it'll just feel wonderful. And even just doing a foot massage in the bathtub or in the sink with some nice smelling soap, that can be a wonderful way to unwind after work as part of your coming home ritual. So if you want more ways to work smarter, not harder, and more ways to self-soothe without reaching for anything that's bad for you, let me know, and that is my specialty. I would love to help you learn to self-soothe in really healthy ways so you're no longer craving junk when you're stressed. If you want more content like this, subscribe to the Lisa Talev channel and let me know if there are any particular topics you want to learn about, and I will do my best to make a video for you.